It's a great day. There's some good news out there to start out with today. Here in the U.S., our hot topics begin with the coronavirus cases posted the lowest and slowest spread in the pandemic since it began a year ago. The CDC said that the vaccinated people very soon can start visiting indoor without masks. Globally, over 312 million shots have been given, and we're seeing celebratory vaccinations, play on words, are giving the travel industry really a boost, and that's a big hooray to the travel industry. This past week in the U.S., U.S. Airlines carried an average of more than 1 million passengers a day, and the highest since a non-holiday total period since the pandemic began gutting our travel industry about a year ago. This past Sunday, a total of 1.28 million were traveling, and it's the third highest travel since 1 year ago, mid-March. And it is 1 year ago this week that everything basically began to shut down, and we're seeing it beginning to open up. So that is really good news. Here in the U.S., a lot of states are lifting, as I said, the mask updates, and they're opting to return back to business as normal and as fast as they can to 100% operations. Over in the UK, more than 1/3 of the population has received their first dose of the vaccine, and deaths are continuing to fall. And that's great news for our friends in Great Britain and our IAAPA chairman, Amanda Thompson. So cheers over there, guys. Good news. Here back in the United States, California parks, new guidelines came out from the governor a few days ago, which changed the entire blueprint for a safer economy. They've retained the same 4 tiers, but changed what businesses can do in each tier, and changed the COVID case numbers to change in those different tiers. The state has administered about 1.6 million vaccines and is expected to hit 2 million in the next 2 weeks. And before the April 1st date, when the new rules for the theme parks go into effect, they hope to reach 4 million by the 1st of May. So they're still in their tiers, the red, the orange, the yellow, and the purple, but it looks like that they're going to be able to open here as we move into April. Bob Chapek over at Disney has said that he thinks it's going to be mid to late April when the Disney parks open. So current happenings down in Florida at Walt Disney World, great news down there. With the spring break crowds arriving at Walt Disney World this year, crowds are expected to fill really all the 4 theme parks. The Disney Resort guests and theme park tickets tickets for their guests have really sold out, and there are no really availabilities from the 15th through the 18th at this period of time. And that's basically for all the Disney parks. So that's great news. In the world, Universal announced that its new park in Florida, Epic Universe, is back on track for resuming construction after having been halted for 8 months. Its opening was originally set for 2023. They pushed that back right now to a tentative 2025, possibly sooner. After several delays, Universal in Osaka, Japan is finally going to open its long-planned Super Nintendo World, and it's actually begun that with a soft opening. So it's going to limit the number of people in the park at any given time because of the pandemic, and I'll talk more about Japan in just a second. Over in Germany, zoos in Germany were allowed to open this week after 18 weeks of shutdown. After 4 months of closure, museums in Germany were allowed to open with a surprise message by the government, and that's good news. And I think that bodes well for our friends who operate the theme parks throughout Germany. They've been ramping up with their vaccine, with about 2.5 million people in Germany receiving doses. So it's slowly but surely, but it's coming and it's heading in the right way. Back to Japan just for a second. It was announced that Japan's government will ban overseas fans from attending the Olympic Games, which is a huge disappointment for a lot of people. Japan has struggled to get the games to this point with a lot of domestic upheaval about conducting the Olympics. It really hasn't been popular among the Japanese public at this point in time. So they've only been able to register about 50,000 doses of vaccine to their 175 million plus population. So we're moving in the right direction. We haven't been able to see this kind of positive movement for quite a while. So great news on the global front.